So the purpose of this video is to show you my Ratso ice fishing rig. It's basically on a South Bend glass rod with an eagle claw inline reel. And years ago I broke the tip off this rod, so I made my own spring bobber. You can see where I shrink wrapped it, taped it, glued it, whatever I could to get it to stay there. It's permanently on there now. I used a very thin wire to that's very much bent and out of place. Not very pretty, but it's very effective. Then I stuck a bead on there. I used some hot glue or some kind of glue to hold it in place, and it's been there ever since for years. The very tip of it, I don't know if you can see it if I zoom in a little bit. I just formed a, it's not really a loop, it's whatever I could. I just bent this with a pair of pliers and made kind of a quadrangle shaped loop. Not very pretty, but it's still effective. Here's the first Ratso. I just tied it on with a clinch knot, left a really long leader. I'm not going to take that lure off. It's always going to be there. This is the glow Ratso head with a glow bright Ratso tail. The bottom one is, I'll bring that into view. I attached a no knot fast snap on there so I can quick change. Again, it's another Ratso, but I could put any type of lure down there. Sometimes I'll put like a heavier tungsten jig on if they're in deep water, and I'll put the Ratso on the back of that, or some sort of bait like spikes or waxworms. Most of the time I just leave the Ratsos on there. Each Ratso is about a foot apart in this case. I usually keep them 8 to 10 inches apart, but this has worked pretty well, and I haven't had to change it up and it's been this rigged like this for a couple years. But my homemade spring, as ugly as it is, it's very effective. You could see the very slightest touch, and that thing's really sensitive. So when I'm raising that up, if I see the spring go like that, I know there's a fish biting. That means the fish is pushing the lure up, inhaling it, and swimming up with it. So you can see it's very sensitive to what happens with the line. And of course, if it bites and starts swimming off with it, you'll see something like that. So sometimes you'll see just a really tiny bite, something like that. So anything different, you set the hook.